This isn't about labeling people, it's about recognizing unhealthy patterns, the kind that slowly damage relationships without us even realizing it. Sometimes we see them in other people, and sometimes, if we're honest, we see them in ourselves. If we find them in ourselves, the goal is to heal. If we find them in someone else, the goal isn't to judge, it's to protect ourselves and keep our distance when we need to. Because awareness is never about blame, it's about seeing clearly, even when what we see is hard to look at. One of the most common signs of unhealthy behavior is manipulation. And honestly, I didn't even realize it was happening. My therapist once told me something I'll never forget. Manipulation is one of the most common ways people try to control others. The scary part is that it rarely looks like control. It can look like love, concern, kindness, or even compliments. That's what makes it so hard to recognize. The first time I realized I was being manipulated was when I got married. At first, everything seemed normal. Someone very close to me seemed happy for me. At least that's what I thought. But the more serious it became, the more everything changed. Even after we got married, it didn't stop. What confused me the most was that it never sounded like hate. Sometimes they'd compliment me, and just seconds later, they'd say something negative about my husband. Just enough to plant a seed of doubt. And if I reacted, they'd smile and say, if you were really happy, you wouldn't be so upset. That was the moment I started realizing not every conversation is meant to communicate. Some conversations are meant to control. The moment I knew this wasn't love anymore, it was manipulation, was when everything happened with my eyes. The story I shared in my healing series. Those were some of the hardest days of my life, the kind of days you shouldn't have to face alone. And that's when I realized something. Some people don't stop trying to control you, even when you're already hurting. That's when I understood someone who truly loves you doesn't make your hardest days even harder. After everything that happened, I kept asking myself one question. How did I not see it sooner? The answer surprised me, because manipulation didn't start when I got married. It started years before that, when I learned that being good meant always saying yes, when people praised me for putting everything else first, for never saying no, for always being available. Somewhere along the way, I stopped believing I was lovable for who I was. I believed I was lovable for what I could do for other people. And that's exactly what manipulation feeds on. One pattern I started noticing was that manipulation rarely relies on just one tactic. When one strategy doesn't work, it often changes. These are some of the signs I personally experienced, and one time I experienced almost every one of them in a single 30-minute conversation. It started with compliments. You're so kind. You're the only one who understands. You're the only person I can count on. Too much. When that didn't work, it turned into guilt. I'm going through such a hard time right now. I really needed you. Suddenly, I was supposed to feel responsible for fixing everything. And when that still didn't work, came the anger, blame, silence. The tactics kept changing, but the goal never did. Now, to be clear, not everyone who does one of these things is trying to manipulate you. But when these patterns keep showing up, especially when someone won't accept your no, I pay attention, not to judge, but to protect myself. Not everyone who manipulates is evil. Some people learn these behaviors growing up. Maybe one parent or both used guilt, fear, or control to get what they wanted. Some act from fear, from pain, from insecurity, and maybe no one ever taught them a healthier way. Understanding that helped me let go of a lot of anger. but it didn't change what I needed to do, because someone's pain doesn't erase the impact of their behavior. I can have compassion and still choose distance. I can understand and still protect my peace. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is step out of a cycle that keeps hurting everyone involved. One of the most confusing toxic behaviors is gaslighting, because it doesn't make you question them. It makes you question yourself, your memory, your feelings, your reality. It sounds like that never happened. You're overreacting. You're too sensitive. You're imagining things. Little by little, you stop trusting your own mind. And that's exactly what makes gaslighting so dangerous. And just like I said before, I'm not talking about one mistake or one bad conversation. I'm talking about patterns, the kind that repeat again and again. And in the next chapters, I'll show you what this looked like in my own life. For years, I heard things like, "You're making things up again. You always remember it wrong. You forgot what really happened. You're blaming me for something you did. If you were really happy in your marriage, my words wouldn't upset you. You're overreacting." I heard these things from someone very close to me, and after a while I started wondering, could I really be wrong about everything? Could one person really be the problem every single time? So why was I hearing them over and over from the same person? Of course, anyone can misunderstand something. Anyone can remember a moment differently, and sometimes even the people closest to us can say something unfair, but not every time. The more I learned, the more I realized this wasn't helping me understand reality. It was making me question myself, and that's when I knew I didn't have to live like that anymore. Have you ever felt like no matter what you did, it was never enough? No matter how hard you worked, there was always a reason you could have done more? Maybe you spent your whole life trying to make someone proud, and somehow they always found something else to criticize. You were constantly reminded there was always someone smarter, more successful, or better than you. That's what chronic criticism does. It doesn't help you grow. It can teaches you that your value always depends on doing more, being better, making fewer mistakes. And after a while, you don't even need someone else to criticize you anymore. You do it for them. You become your own harshest critic. Healthy feedback helps you improve. Chronic criticism makes you believe you'll never be enough. One of the hardest things I had to learn was that chronic criticism doesn't always come from people who want to hurt you. For me, it came from the people I never doubted loved me. And honestly, I think they believed they were helping. If I woke up late, I was lazy. If I spent time with my friends or simply rested, I was wasting time. And creative dreams weren't real careers. Real success meant becoming a doctor or an engineer. Everything else was just a hobby. I know they weren't trying to break me down. They were loving me the only way they knew how. But even love can leave marks when it only speaks through criticism. And that's the part nobody tells you. Sometimes the people who love you the most hurt you the most without even realizing it. Last but not least, let's talk about toxic jealousy. Jealousy isn't toxic. It's human. We've all felt it at some point. Sometimes jealousy can even teach you something. It can show you what you admire, what you value, or what you want to work toward. But when jealousy turns into trying to hurt someone, tear them down, control them, or celebrate their failures, it's no longer just jealousy. It's become toxic. Healthy jealousy inspires growth. Toxic jealousy creates harm. The difference isn't what you feel, it's what you choose to do with that feeling. Loud and tender.